Hello everybody and welcome back to another edition of Fog's PlayStation Adventures. We are back in my latest favorite game, Hellblade. It's a little bit of Assassin's Creed and a whole lot of storyline. It's definitely a good one. It's won all kinds of awards for it being one of the best portrayals of psychosis. So we're going to be following this adventure a little further. We've done 2 features already. If you missed either one of them, go on over to gsch.info/psadventures and you can check those out. Let's go ahead and jump right in. We've got a lot to cover today, hoping that we can get through this in the next 2 weeks. We will see how far we can get. Thanks, guys.
The Northmen tell of a great hero. His name is Sigmund. His father's hall was built around a great tree, and one day Odin comes and thrusts a sword into the tree, a gift to whomever can release it. Many try, but the sword only comes out at Sigmund's touch. His brother-in-law, King Siggeir, wants it, but Sigmund refuses him, so King Siggeir plots revenge. He invites Sigmund and his brothers to a feast, but when they arrive, they are met with an army, not a warm welcome. King Siggeir captures Sigmund and his brothers, steals his coveted sword, and readies them for execution.
She mimicked him, perfecting her own secret dance, wishing those fleeting moments of light would stretch out to last forever.
Death for Sigmund and his brothers seems certain. But the king's wife is Sigmund's sister, and she begs for mercy and implores the king to chain them up instead. He agrees. Not for mercy, though, but because he plans an even more cruel and lingering death. Chained to a tree in the forest that night, a she-wolf comes and devours one of Sigmund's brothers. She returns, ravenous, night after night, until only Sigmund is left. The next day, Sigmund's sister sends a servant with honey to smear on Sigmund's face. But to what end? Well, that night, when the she-wolf appears again, you'll never guess what happens.
so effortlessly caught the world in bliss. If only she could do the same. See the world through eyes anew. And dance with it, just like he does.
What's your name?
Senua.
I haven't seen you before.
I don't leave home much.
Oh, Zenua's daughter.
I have to go.
Wait. Who taught you to fight like that?
No one.
No one?
Well, I watched you, and
You learnt all of that from watching me? You should become a warrior, you know.
me?
I'm Dillian. I'm here for the warrior trials. Just come and watch. And bring your sword.
You can't put it into words. That moment when you look into the eyes of the one who's supposed to reassure you, make you feel safe. It only takes an instant. Fear swallows you before you have a chance to make sense of it. And darkness becomes a part of who you are. You killed him. But her world changed the day the Northmen took him from her. Senua knows that there's no going back to how things were. That there's nothing to go back to at all. Stay still, stay quiet, hide, don't tell her.
Their gods can see into your mind. They will use this power to destroy you.
They won't stop me. I can still feel him.
Whatever's left of him, they will never let him go.
I'm not gonna let him rot here.
You're the one rotting here.
Leave me alone.
You will die here.
No.
And all your suffering will have been for nothing.
Shut up! Dillian? Is that you? I'll find you, my love. I promise.
Can you see him? You want to believe it. Is he not real? Is he there? You're alone in these mountains. Is that Dillian? Nothing lives here. You won't survive. You met him by the tree. She met him by the tree. Maybe it's a sign, the tree. What's he trying to tell you? He's waiting for you by the tree.
As the she-wolf licks the sweet honey from Sigmund's face, he bites the wolf's tongue. The she-wolf pulls away, but Sigmund holds on. The chains break, and he is free. After his escape, Sigmund lives like us, hidden in the forest. His enemy, King Siggeir, believing him dead, as his sister plots revenge. And for vengeance to succeed, even the great Sigmund needs help. So she sends her sons to him. But their blood is weak and corrupted, and they're put to death by Sigmund. So his sister hatches a new plan, one that is cold of heart and pure of blood.
Its name is Gramr. It was forged by the god of all Northmen, Odin, and gifted to Sigmund, a great warrior.
I need this sword. It's important. Can you help me?
The sword appears whole, but it is an illusion. It shattered into shards long ago. It is said a great warrior can reforge Gramr by answering the trials of Odin, one for each shard. The roots of the Tree of Death will take you to new lands, where you will face the trials.
Go to the shard. Go to the shard.
Go to the shard.
What's the shard? Find it.
Where is it?
Find it. There it is.
Focus.
There's the shard. Focus.
Focus.
Use your eyes. Look.
Get closer.
What can you see? Go to it.
I want to tell you a story about a god of the Northmen called Balder.
Come on.
The second son of Odin. He was beautiful, good and wise. He was fair of feature, he spoke fair words, he gave fair judgments. Light shone from him. Only good things were told of him. Yet he was the first of the gods to die.
It's dangerous. Don't go near it. Don't go there. Don't go too close. Don't go to the mask. You don't know what will happen if you touch it. Stay back. Don't touch it. You're curious. Where are we? What is this? It's the same. It's another world. The bridge. It's not broken. It's fixed. What happened? The bridge is fixed. Let's cross it.
The Northmen tell this story about the death of Balder. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Balder dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Balder's mother makes everything in the world: fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beasts, birds, serpents, poison, sickness, swear an oath not to harm her son. One by one, they each make their vow. Neither weapons nor wood will injure him, Baldur's mother boasts. Only Loki, father of Hela, the mistress of death, is not amused.
Go through it. It's dangerous. Follow it. What's behind the gate? Where will it take you? It's safe. Dillian, there he is. What are you waiting for? Quick, find a way. Find him. Go through. Where is he? Where's he gone? We're in the wrong world. He's not here. She's in Dillian, love. He's not in this world. He's in the other one. He's in the other one. He's in the dark world. The dark.
The world once seemed so simple. Black and white. Darkness and light. Narrow dividing lines of our own making. Dillian taught her to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of colour stretching away from the gloom. And Senua explored new paths into the unknown.
It's a great marvel. But Loki shapes himself into a woman and asks Baldur's mother, is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe? I did not ask the mistletoe, Baldur's mother confesses. I thought it was too young. Oh dear.
Senua, you've got it. Dillian's in the tower. He's gone. He's there. He's in the dark world. He's gone to the dark world. You're in the wrong world. He's in the other world. The dark world. Without you. Nobody will love her. Can you remember what love feels like? Look what happens to the things she loves. She destroys the world. There's a way. He didn't know. There is a way up there. Find the way. She can do it. You're nearly there.
Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe and goes to the gods as they throw things at Baldur. The blind god, Huth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't taking part. Huth says, I cannot see where Baldur stands, And even if I could see him, I have no weapon. Loki replies, "Here is a wand. I will tell you where he stands." And Húð throws the mistletoe at Balder. It pierces through him, and to everyone's horror, Balder is killed. And for this, Húð is slain.
Why didn't she listen to her? She thought she could defy her.
Years had passed since she left her father. She trained hard alongside her friend,
You're still alive.
Dillion. She saw things no one else could. Patterns, shapes, movement. An intuition that made her an exceptional warrior. Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go. She was caught between two worlds. That of Zimbel and her past. And Dillion. Her future. Two realities tearing at her soul.
Wasting your time. You have no time for this. Speed up. These are drugs. It's under the Lord. You squashed it. Extreme trials to distract you. They've set you up, and now they're going to watch you. What if these trials mean nothing? Laughing at you. What if they take you no closer to Dillion? Dillion, you're letting this get in the way. What if they are just to tire you out, to make you weak before the battle? Does it feel warm? Do you feel safe? Dillion loves you. Do you remember the way he touched you? He saved you. He saved you. He loves you. You owe him. His love keeps you strong. He believed in you. Do you even remember? His love is guiding you. Dillion saved you. Dillion cared for her like no one else has. Dillion's the only reason she's still alive.
The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Balder. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess. She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Balder's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes and the rollers burst into flames. When Balder's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, her heart bursts with grief, and she dies. She's put next to her husband, and the pyre is lit, sending the dead to hell. But even so, the gods cannot accept his death.
You broke it. You killed him. You couldn't see the darkness within you. Your love because he believed in you. Remember, Dillion? Do you remember? Do you remember the sound of his voice?
Overcome with grief, the gods send Hermod to ride to Hell and ask Hela to let Baldur return home. All the gods are weeping, he says. Are they? Asks Hela. We shall see if he is truly missed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Baldur stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Baldur, weep him out of hell. And everything wept. Men, beasts, earth, stone, trees, metal, everything. Except for a giantess they find in a cave. Baldur was never my friend, she says. Let Hel keep what she has. The North.
Special.
The gods are just toying, playing. What if the gods are laughing?
Messing with her.
It wouldn't be
First time.
Dillion! Dillion never much cared for the underworld, and looked dimly upon the druids, like her father, Zinbel.
You can do it.
I guess he took after his father, a chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see, and he happened to be blind. She felt safe in Dillion's arms, learned to see the world through his eyes. And slowly, the darkness that had bound her so tightly began to unravel.
Very careful. You've come this far, don't let him slip away. It's a narrow bridge. And there's a long way to fall. Be quick. Be quick. Breathe. Just calm down.
Senua, your father cannot understand your darkness. He cannot see through your eyes. No one can. My own father was born blind. Doesn't have the faintest idea of what the night looks like. The word dark to him means as little as the word light. So someone is afraid of the dark. Should we fix them by taking away their sight? Would you give up the beautiful world that you, and only you, can see just to be rid of your nightmares? Or is this the price you pay for the gift you have? A gift that makes you so special in my eyes. Just another part of the person I know.
I left for the wilds to protect you from my darkness. Because I love you. But it made it worse. I'm so sorry.
It's done. You did it. But there's more. There's more. You're tired, but you have to keep going. There's still more. There's always more to do. It's not going to be easy. Can you do another one? It's too much. Have you got the energy? She hasn't got the energy. No. Too much to do.
I saw once a plague strike northern lands of ice. It was so terrible that not the oldest man among us could remember the like. Hundreds died. The sickness took nearly every person younger than 40, and many older. And where dying mothers gave birth, the marks of the plague were on the babes as they came out of the womb.
Where are we? I don't like it. This place feels...
What is this place?
This place feels... It's... creepy. Creepy. It feels wrong. It feels strange. Where is it? Where are we? Turn back. This is wrong. This has to be wrong. This place stinks. It's disgusting. It smells like death. I can't breathe. Can you smell the death? It's too much. Turn back. There he is. There he is. The light. Go towards it. He's in the house. He's going in. He's disappearing. Follow him. Don't let him disappear. The air. Where's it gone? Keep going. How do you find it? It's just a trial. It's just another test.
It's a test. Like the old warrior trials. Dillian will help me. The stench of rot. She can almost taste it. Do you smell it? No. Don't worry. Not everyone can. It was one spring day when she went to the river with Dillian and the others. To the water. She could taste the rot. But no one else could. She knew something was wrong. Something sinister. She begged them to leave, but they just laughed at her. But soon enough, as the bodies piled up, no one was laughing. And they knew that she was not like that.
Until you get to the house.
Before he disappears, Senua.
You have to get in.
Northmen speak of a death moon, a light shaped like a half moon that appears inside a house and goes around the walls. I once saw the death moon appear at a farm, and first the shepherd died, then a guest died, and then the farm hands, and then the farmer and 6 of his men drowned at sea. But that is not the end of it, because the dead return to haunt the living. If you see the death moon, then beware, because there will be death in that house.
You succeeded.
Senua! Come to me! Where are you?
I'm here! I'm right here!
Are you in there? Come out and...
Dillian! They're coming for me!
You can hear Dillian. It's Dillian. Go to him. Dillian. Go to him.
There it is. Huh? It's close. It's close. Move away. Senua, move away.
Feel him.
You'll die.
Feel it.
You're dying. The burning has begun.
Dying. The burning.
The burning has begun.
Go to the gate. There they are. The rooms. You can get through.
Focus. 2 more.
2 more touchings. Where are they, Senua? Where's Dillian? Where are you?
Don't let us.
Run! Run now! Run! It's not safe here. Run! Senua! Don't run. Your soul. You came through the wrong door. Where's your soul? You can't do this. It's Dillian. Find the creature. Where's Dillian?
What should I do?
Where is it? I'm not safe.
You're dying.
You're lost. You're dying. This is what death feels like.
Where are you?
Go towards it. Focus.
Focus.
Look. Find one touch.
There it is. It's close. It's close. Move away. Senua, move away.
Run! Run now! Run! It's not safe here. Run! Senua! Don't run. You saw it. You came through the wrong door. Where's your soul? And you said, is that the creature? You can't defend us. It's Dillian. Find the creature. Where's Dillian? Where are we? It's not safe.
I can't find you.
This is what death feels like.
It is. Go towards it. Round. You've got them.
Where's the door?
Find a way out.
Find the gate. Get out. Run. 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 Let him look at you.
Don't let it see you. It's coming. Move away. You're lost again.
They're coming!
Senua! Senua! What happened?
They're blaming me for the plague. They say that I'm cursed. What if they're right?
How would they know such a thing? Are they gods? None of us are. They're just people. Good people, but they're scared. They're afraid of what they can't see. Like children scared of the dark. They make up stories to fill the void. That doesn't make them true.
What if my father was right?
You have to step out of this darkness. Let them see who you really are, like I have. You're not a monster.
Without you, this darkness has made me a monster.
What if this is pointless? What if you're wrong? What if this has nothing to do with the sword? What if we're wrong? The sword will never be yours. What if this is the end? It's just a trick. It's just a pointless test. You've been fooled before. You could be fooled again. You're being tested. You don't know. It's just their game.
Sigmund's sister trades shapes with a sorceress, and in disguise, she lies with her own brother. She gives birth to a son named Senua. After a time, a king in the north forced the dwarves to make a sword that would never fail and never rust, and that would slice through iron and stone and bring victory to its bearer. But the angry dwarves cursed it. It would be the death of a man every time it was drawn. And it would be the death of the king. Let me tell you about the sword Tyrving.
I don't recognize this place. Where are we? Where is she?
It feels wrong. Where are we now? Burial mound. So strange that we go to such lengths to bury death. Something so very ordinary, inevitable. It's as if we conspire to hide death, because we have no answer for it. But when it comes, it forces itself onto our friends or loved ones. Then comes the reckoning.
Senua, you remind me of a story that the Northmen tell about a young woman warrior. Her name is Hervor, the daughter of a berserker born after he was killed. She's a wild, willful child who teaches herself to fight with weapons. When she learns where her father is buried, her only desire is to reclaim the treasure buried with him, but above all, the sword Tyrving.
Dillian, I'm here. I'm here for the trials. Like when we first met, remember?
There he is. There he is. Dillian, there he is. Finally.
You found him. What's wrong? What happened? Can you hear me?
How did you let him go again?
Just wait there. I'll find you.
You have to find him. This is your mission. Find him. You have to use everything you have and find him. Get him back. He was just there. How could you lose him? How could she lose him? How could she? Find him.
I'll find him.
Don't touch the walls.
You don't know what was that? Did you hear that? Nothing. Was that voices? It's not his voice or the voice of the dead. Not Dillian.
Dillian's calling to you. Can you hear him?
Where is he? He sounds like he's getting further away. Have you lost him? You're going the wrong way. Are you lost, and have you lost him? Where are you?
I can hear him.
Over this way.
Disguises herself as a man to join a band of warriors, and soon becomes their leader. When they come to the island where her father is buried, her men do not want to go ashore. They say that evil haunts the island, and that it is a worse place by day than other places are by night. Fearless, she lands alone. There are many grave mounds, and all of them have ghostly flames burning over them. She comes to the grave mound of her father after passing through these ghostly fires, as though they were mist. The flames I passed through were real enough. Damn the Northmen to hell.
Find another way. It's not working. You have to use your mind. Where can you go? You're failing. Find another way. Think. Focus. Use your mind. Where's he gone? He's disappeared. You let him slip through your fingers once again. Think clearly. You have to find another way. There has to be another way. You don't recognize it. Don't doubt yourself. You'll never find it. She doesn't recognize it. Yes, you do. You know. She doesn't. Listen for his voice. Listen. Dillian. Where are you? The same. Looks the same. Something's different. Look for clues. That's it. What's different? There's a clue. That voice doesn't sound like Dillian. What's happening?
Quiet.
It's not him.
He wants me to find him. I'm lost without him.
It's not Dillian. That doesn't sound like Dillian. What's in there? Is it a secret?
That voice. It's not Dillian.
There's no way in. Find a way. There has to be a way. Find a way. There's always a way. Don't stop now. Don't give up now. Find a way. You're too close to stop. It's in there. Light the torch. Light it. Look for the torch. Light it. It will help you see. Delian's voice, it's a trap. You would fight into their hand. They have you right where they want you. How could you? You think that voice is Delian's? It's not. It's beckoning you to your death.
Within the burial mound, Hervor calls on her father to wake from death and bring her his sword. She says that it is not seemly for the dead in their grave mounds to bear valuable weapons. Her father answers with words of warning. You go to your doom. Baleful runes surround you. You have gone mad. You have lost your mind. Your thoughts are confused. It is dangerous to wake the dead. Like I said, she reminds me of you.
The same. Looks the same. Something's different. Look for clues. What is it? What's different? There's a clue.
Alright, this might be a terribly stupid thing, but I'm following the sounds. And even though it's scary, I'm going to do it anyways.
Delian wants me to face my fears. Father? I'm leaving. I've decided. I think it will be good for me.
It's the darkness. It's speaking through
No,
you.
Dad, it's me. I think I can beat it. In my own way.
I can see the darkness in your eyes, child.
I met a boy.
Boy.
The chieftain's son.
No.
He said he could help me.
It's a trick.
He said I could be normal.
Normal?
Yes.
No boy is going to save you. No one can. When they see the rot growing inside you,
No!
they will turn their back on you. The gods can only fix you through my hand. You're going nowhere.
No.
You will not defy the gods. Come, child, take my hand. Come. Senua.
I am leaving!
You cannot escape the darkness. Your curse will make everyone suffer. You will have blood on your hands!
Dad of the year.
Killing you would be too easy. They're taking your memories to torture you. They're taking you inside. You're disappearing one memory at a time. Every time you remember, it disappears. They're going to take everything. They're not yours anymore. They're going to take everything you have. The memories of ghosts. They belong to the gods, not to you. They're eating you from the inside. They want to kill your soul. They want to crush it. They think they want your body. They want your soul. They want your mind, and they're going to take it. The memories were yours, but they're the gods now. Nothing is yours anymore. It's disappearing with your memories.
The Northmen say that their Allfather, Odin, gave his eye in exchange for a drink from Mimir's well, the Well of Wisdom. In blindness, there can be wisdom. Only by giving can you receive in return. For this reason, I give my life and pass on my stories of the Northmen to you, Senua.
Where am I? I can't see. Who's there?
Can you hear me? I'm right here. Can't you see me?
Help me.
Breathe slow.
It's the darkness.
Stay still. Empty your thoughts. Tell me what you feel.
The breeze.
Good. Then there is a way out.
I can't tell where it comes from.
Yes, you can.
The others. The voices. They've gone.
I'm still here.
It's so quiet. So dark.
It's okay. Listen to your own breath. Feel it rise and fall. Good. Be aware of everything you hear and feel. Let your senses guide you.
can't go on. Elliot?
Find a way. I'm not leaving you here.
I think I'm somewhere else now. The breeze has gone.
Use all of your senses. Let the world speak to you. What do you hear?
I hear water.
Good.
I've reached the water.
Good. That's your way out. Follow it upstream.
So sorry. I thought I left us all behind.
Don't be sorry. It's not your fault.
He was right. It's inside of me. It won't let me go.
Senua. My father. He taught me the hardest battles are fought in the mind, not the sword. You're no coward. Prove that to me in the warrior tribe. This is just another battle. You can beat it.
This isn't your battle. You don't have to help me.
I want to. Besides, you are going to be a great warrior one day. You need people like you.
I'll do my best.
I know what you're thinking. He's not really here. Seems there's no escaping the past in this place. So she's forced to relive it. To what end?
There is a house. I don't know what's inside.
Don't be afraid.
Dillian, there's something in you.
Do you see it?
No.
Then it cannot see you. Quietly move past it. One step at a time.
following me.
Leave it behind and keep moving forwards.
There's more of them. I think they're moving.
You're breathing too fast.
I'm scared.
Listen to the sound of your breath. In and out. In and out. It will pass. You can do this, Senua.
I think I'm in a house. It stinks of death.
The darkness is testing you. You are in control.
A well. There's a well.
Don't turn back. You're getting close.
Delia. Help me. Delia. Is that you? I can see a light.
Yes, I can see you too.
She could spend hours, days even, trapped within herself, in the dark.
You see me?
Yes.
Your eyes were open, but you were gone.
And when it finally let her go, she could be anywhere, with no memory of how she got there.
When it comes for me, I have no power over it.
But here, for the first time, someone was there to help.
But I heard your voice. You brought me back.
You found your own way back. All you needed was a little help. A little hope.
You've done it. The warrior trials. Go get the sword. You did it with the sword. You have to get the sword.
With grammar reforged, you will have Odin's blessing to walk, a goddess, into the halls of Helheim and challenge Hela as an equal.
So Dillion was helping me. And the sword will lead me to him. Like when we first met.
Dillion gave her the strength to pass the warrior trials, and she saw a way out. To leave her past behind and become a warrior in Dillion's clan.
Go back.
The sword is tainted by the gods of darkness. Leave it.
No. He left it here. He wants me to take it.
You will pay a price for this.
But years later, with Zinbel's parting words still haunting her, the darkness came back with a vengeance. A plague.
Dillion?
Everyone suffered.
My father was not supposed to die like this.
Do you see it clearly now, Senua? The suffering you've caused.
This is your fault. You brought this plague to us. You have blood on your hands.
They're coming for you now.
They're coming.
They're coming to get you.
Hold your heavy strike. Hold it. Hold the heavy strike. Hold your heavy strike. Unleash the sword.
Must remember, she can focus. It's inside her.
Focus is coming back.
Focus. Focus. You can do this. Focus now. You won it. You can do it.
You're close.
Push him. There's nowhere to run to.
In the sea of corpses, the corpse waved through itself over the ones I loved. The ship broke up under them. The ship that had sailed from the land of shining fields. Their memorial stone is sacred. Come not here in the sun. Come not with a sword. Come not crying over a naked corpse. Come not with disturbed mind.
She's lost. She doesn't know where she's trying to get to. Is there any...
Do you hear the suffering, Senua? Does your precious gift of sight let you see the souls that rot here in this sea of corpses? Do you feel the blood run cold on your skin? Do you hear their endless cries? Do you smell their putrid wounds? They were once brothers, sisters, and loved ones. And look at what you have done to them. All because you were a coward, because you ran from your curse instead of facing it. When you turned your back on the Father Zinbel, you turned your back on the gods and let the darkness wreak havoc on your people. Why must they pay for your heresy? She calls for you, Senua. Go to her. Answer her pitiful call.
Darkness took her life, and it will take yours. It's taking you further and further into the darkness.
Mother! I need you! Help me!
Was powerless against the darkness when it came for her. She too had a sight. She too doubted the gods and let the darkness infest her. But she didn't run. She escaped the only way she knew how. She gave her life to the gods.
If only you had done the same, the world would have been spared this horror.
It's not too late. She's calling for you. Why don't you join her? seas, the rivers of hell. Isn't that what you deserve after God? If the darkness what it wants, let it swallow your soul and destroy all that you are. Why are you fighting for someone who is already dead? Just look around you. What hope is there for him? Your soul could be rescued. Do you think he will thank you for what you have done to him, to his friends, to his father?
Behind you! You can do this. Can't focus. You're strong. Focus. They're covering you. It's nearly over. Finish it. You're both dead. You both surrendered to the voices. The darkness has taken you. Galena and Senua. Galena and You are lost. There's nothing you can do. You're dead. You're both dead. Mother and daughter dead in the sea of corpses.
I can't fight it anymore. Not on my own. Where are you, Mother? I want to be with you.
That night, she gave up on her world to follow in the footsteps of her mother, to go to a place where the darkness couldn't reach her.
Senua. Look at me.
Do you hear them? They're calling for me.
We've lost so many. And I've lost my father. I can't lose you.
You said it. I have blood on my hands.
I didn't say that. You've done nothing wrong.
Symbol was right. Everyone will suffer.
Zimbel is a fake. He is a hateful, bitter liar. He's poison. And his words still haunt you. Who do you trust? Him? Or me? Do you still believe in me, Senua? In us? Come back to me. Please. Don't let this darkness come between us.
The hardest battles are fought in the mind. He gave her the sword with which to fight in more ways than one. And she gave him her word, never to surrender. All she needed was a little help. A little hope.
Alright everybody, that's going to be where we end it for this week. Next week we'll continue where we left off. I think we're getting pretty close. I think there's probably 2 more little chapters to go through. We made it through all of the mazes, which was the big part that I didn't know that we were going to complete today, so that was good. Fighting my inner demons is getting a little easier, but it's challenging. They're throwing more of them at you. It's a lot of dodging, a lot of, I found that new move, if you hold your L1 button down and then use your kick, which is circle, you can do a jump kick. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that before, so now I figured that out. Each one of those buttons does different things when you hold that L1 down, as I was testing. So, use those. In any case, I look forward to seeing you again next week. Be sure to go to gsch.info/psadventures to learn more. And if this running water doesn't make you need to go to the bathroom, I don't know what will. See y'all later. Bye.